Hi, I'm Dr. Bart Jaworski and I'm a Senior Product Manager at Microsoft working for Skype. Well, it was an accident really. I have been working as a project manager then, so I had no decision making. My job was to make sure that the things issued by the CEO were, well, completed. But at some point, more and more decision making came into my way, and I was at some point, maybe by accident, maybe by design, called a product manager, and I liked it. I put that into my font. I put that into the footer of my email, and it's been there ever since. And since I really enjoyed the job, I, well, did my best to become where I am now. And since I started loving that job, I researched the position, I knew what it entails. I decided I want to do that. That's exactly what makes me happy. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid of new stuff. Don't be afraid that you're not enough, that you're not good enough. Just try it. Do your best. Research, iterate, try different things. You can't really fail when you're looking for the things that make you happy, and if tech is making you happy, then why not connect your career to it? What's the worst that can happen, really? And people often are afraid to make different steps in their life. Just do it. The regret is worse than failure, and I'm assure you, you won't fail. It's just a boogeyman across the road. That's really an opportunity that's far away and not too sharp to see. Breaking into product management is very hard. And even though I just told you that I went there by accident, someone gave me a chance, it wasn't a real product management position. No. It was just a part of it, but it was missing a whole big chunk that I could only learn from books. And it took me 2 years of failed job interviews, of disappointment, of also learning and iterating on what was needed to land the role, until I finally did. And even then I was told that I have 3 months to prove myself, because I was, well, hired on the basis of being subject level expert. I was only hired based on my industry knowledge about job boards and recruitment markets. So yeah, that was really hard, but now it also resulted in the fact that I accumulated so much skill on being successful in this process that I teach it, and people can learn from me on how to land their product management careers from almost nothing. I would say that probably you will be struck with the fact that people assume that you know enough technology and that it's not really required for them to go down to some basics or fundamental concepts when talking to you, and they will jump ahead trying to solve what they come to you for solving. And you can do that by simply learning and trying out new things, or new teachers, new courses, new people to talk to, because even some of the courses might jump hoops and teach you stuff too quickly, or having assumptions that you know what you don't know. So don't worry, take your time and just be sure to know what you don't know, and make sure that you won't know that any longer. The feedback, the fact that we work with the team for weeks and months on a piece of update to a product, and then it's suddenly out in the world, and we're waiting to see if people liked it, if it's all good, that it's enjoyable, and it met its promise. And having that positive feedback, that success, it is what drives me really in my product management job. I love making good products, really. The analytical suite is always the most important thing. Whether it's Adobe Analytics, Google Tools, or Power BI, it's very important to understand what's happening with your product, with your users, with your updates, and make educated calls about it to know what should be your next action. So yeah, that's very, very important. And I also use a 20-year-old PaintShop Pro 7, which is a very, very old version, I would say, of Photoshop. It's not Photoshop, it was a different product, but it does the same. But it's very easy. It has all the tools I need and not all the tools I don't need. And it helps me to quickly illustrate what I want to convey, or sometimes do a quick meme for my team to brighten up the mood. Well, for one thing, it's good to understand how software is developed, to understand the process, version control, maybe pick up Python language and do a few projects on your own to see how it's done, to have, if not to having a coding career, then at least to understand how it's baked, how people operate with it, and build a vocabulary that helps you to understand the tech world. But really, the very important technical skill that helps you in the world of tech is the openness and willingness to learn, to be a constant learner, in fact, and never assume that you know enough. I would say that, at least in Poland, the material that you need to learn is more than any reasonable person can handle. Thus, I was taught very early on how to prioritize and how to focus on what brings me to my goal, to get an internship, to pass the class, to get a promoting grade, that all went in a way that I would prioritize my actions in the limited time I had in order to get most out of it. Sometimes it would mean staying up late to do a project. Sometimes I would learn for one exam in favor of another, so that I'm at least sure that I pass one of them and I'm not mediocrely prepared for both of them. Or I would do exactly that because the mediocre part would be enough to pass it, at least in my opinion. And the prioritization and focus on achieving goals is something that's very useful as a product manager. Empathy, consistency, and transparency. Empathy, because you are working with people and you need them to also enjoy their job. You can't exploit people around you. You don't need to make friends, but you need to make allies. You need to make people that are fond of you and you are fond of them, because then working together is better. It's easier to achieve goals and it's fun doing so. So don't ever hesitate to prioritize people over results, because the results will come long term if people will want to earn those results with you. Now, consistency is all about having a routine, a schedule, delivery process, a process that allows you to maintain your work balance, your deliverables, to have everything well documented, to have a newsletter prepared on time, to have every stakeholder informed, be ready with your backlog when it's ready. Yeah, there's a lot of work, and the consistency and discipline on realizing that discipline is very important. And transparency is all about making sure that whatever decision you make, it can be backtracked and it can be understood by anyone. That it's not only in your head, it's all around in your documentation, in your work ethic, and if people understand, they can support your decisions. Well, I would say that it's very important to observe machine learning and deep learning. The fact that you can now observe Luke Skywalker in a new Star Wars series being part of the crew, which is only technical magic, is incredible. That's something that was not possible just a few years ago, or if it was, then it wasn't really convincing. And now you can be fooled by the fake face. We are being improved by having the artificial intelligence around us, and we need to be cautious because, as many sci-fi films and series taught us, it can be dangerous, but it's incredible how it happens. So I think that the second trend is also the fact that we are getting closer to technology, whether it's via a neural link designed by Elon Musk, or it's spending time in VR and fighting zombies close to you, or being with people that are far away, very close actually. And the fact that Meta is so focused on creating a whole metaverse is simply incredible. I strongly believe that being closer to technology will also ultimately bring us together. And this is something that combined with hopefully fusion clean energy and cooperation between people will ultimately get us to stars and face the great unknown, that we will be elevated as a civilization, and maybe when everything is available to everyone, we will abandon our conflicts, our skin colors, our prejudice, and will become better as a whole, and we will be able to boldly go where no one has gone before to discover what's there, what's out there in space. I would say, don't wait to become a leader. Be a leader. Prove to everyone that you can lead. Get people together. Be the voice of reason. Care about people's morale around you. Find the consensus in a conflict, or help people decide on the next steps. Moderate meetings that are chaotic. And in time, you will be recognized as a leader. You are not being promoted to leadership position. You are being recognized as one, and your position and salary are adjusted to what you will be already doing. So, that's all from me. I'm Bart Jaworski. So that's all from me. I'm Dr. Bart Jaworski. I can be found on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube under Products Digest tag. You can find my courses on Udemy, and I wish you a better tomorrow with technology and with people around you. See you soon.